Welcome, my dear learners, for this course on Design of Machine Elements 2. In this final module, that is in module 5, we were discussing on design of clutches, brakes and bearings. So far, we have completed the discussion on design of clutches and started discussing design of brakes. In our previous lecture, I have introduced you people to the concept of design of brakes and discussed about some important aspects regarding brakes, and also I have explained how to design block or shoe brakes. That is single block brake or double block brake. Moving ahead, in today's lecture, we are ready to solve band brakes. I will be taking simple band brake in today's lecture. In order to solve numerical problems on simple band brake, we should always refer page number 270 of our design data handbook written by K. Madhavan and K. Balaveer Reddy. We are referring 4th edition. If you compare the given problem diagram with respect to page number 270, and you should match the given problem according to the constraints for the sketches which are available in page number 270. Accordingly, you can adopt the equation for force, that is for actuating force. Otherwise, if you don't want to use design data handbook, just take moment about the pin or hinge. Take moment about the pin or hinge and determine the actuating force. Now coming for the working of band brake. In band brake, we have a lever and we have a band over the surface of the brake drum. When you apply the force, these bands which runs over the brake drum will adhere to the surface and stop the rotation of the brake drum. Thereby, it controls the motion of this brake drum by absorbing the kinetic energy, and this kinetic energy will be dissipated as the heat. Now, for simple band brake, always one arm of the band will always attach to the pin or hinge, and another arm will be connected to the lever. If you observe here, tension F1 is connected to the hinge, F2 is attached to the lever. So, the difference between the differential band brake and simple band brake is that in case of simple band brake, one of the arm must be attached to the hinge. That is the condition to be satisfied. Whereas for differential band brake, both the arms will be attached to the lever itself. Hope the concept is clear. For better understanding, you see page number 270 of our design data handbook. So with this very brief introduction to the concept of simple band brake, let us solve numerical problems which are easy to solve because we have the support of data handbook. Coming for problem number 4 of our discussion on design of brakes, which is based on simple band brake, states that a simple band brake of drum diameter 600 millimeters has a band passing over it with an angle of contact 225 degrees as shown in the figure 4. The brake is to be absorbed a power of 15 kilowatts at 720 rpm. Design the brake lever for rectangular cross section, assuming depth to be thrice the width. Take allowable stress as 80 megapascals. So for this problem number 4, just I should design this lever. That is, I want to determine the breadth and width of this lever, assuming it has a rectangular cross section. Let us solve this problem. If I move for the data given for problem number 4 of our discussion, simple band brake with a drum diameter as 600 millimeters and the angle of contact theta is 225 degrees, which absorbs a power of 15 kilowatts. Is absorbing a power of 15 kilowatts at a speed of 720 rpm, and we have to design the lever assuming it has a rectangular cross section with depth h is equal to 3 times the width b. We have sigma allowable as 80 megapascals. Now moving for the solution of this problem. So whenever we have the problem on simple band brakes, always you should directly move to the data handbook referring to page number 270. So therefore, referring to page number 270 of our design data handbook, refer page number 270 of our design data handbook, and comparing the given sketch figure 4 matching with figure E, matching with figure E of data handbook. Design data handbook. So therefore, from page 270. So in page number 270, if I match the given problem, it is matching to figure E. Now we know the power and RPM, so therefore I can determine the value of torque, because torque is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into P by N. This we people already know. And also, one more important problem is that yes, specified the dimensions. Now comparing to figure E, if I note out the dimensions of from figure E, we have the dimensions as B is equal to 400 mm and A is equal to 1000 millimeters. In order to design for lever, I want to determine the maximum bending moment. This you people already know because we should use bending equation. That is mb by I is equal to sigma b by C. That is distance of the outer fiber from neutral axis. That is the value of C. C is equal to h by 2. In order to use that equation, I want to know the force. If I determine the value of forces and tensions, I can easily determine the maximum bending moment and design for lever. So hence, to determine the actuating force, referring to figure E, we have the equation as actuating force F is equal to FTB by A times 1 by e to the power of mu theta minus 1 for clockwise rotation, which is nothing but equation number 13.19 C for clockwise rotation. So since here it is not stated whether the rotation is clockwise or counterclockwise, I should solve for both clockwise and counterclockwise and adopt the larger value. If you carefully observe, I can find the value of torque with the help of power and RPM, using which I can find the value of tangential force. And A and B are given for us. Now coming for the angle theta, which is in radians, 225 to pi by 180, I can do it, but I don't know the value of coefficient of friction. Whenever the value of coefficient of friction is not specified, always assume coefficient of friction as 0.3. Assume mu is equal to 0.3 if not given, always if coefficient of friction is not given, we assume it as 0.3. So first let us calculate the torque. Torque is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into P by N. So we know all the values. If I substitute and solve, I will get 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into power is 15 kilowatts with a speed of 720 RPM, which is turning out to be 198958.33 Newton millimeters. Now we already know that torque is also equal to tangential force times the radius. So therefore, the value of tangential force will be this answer divided by radius. The diameter is 600 mm, therefore radius is 300 mm. Hence the tangential force for this problem is 663.19 newtons. Therefore, now I can find the value of actuating force F for clockwise rotation. That is, if I solve, I will get the actuating force F for clockwise rotation as, we know the value of Ft, 663.19 into value of B is 400 mm divided by A is 1 meters, that is 1000 mm, multiplied by 1 divided by e to the power of mu is 0.3 into theta is 225 degrees, which should be in radians, so therefore it is 225 into pi by 180 minus 1. So if I solve, I get the answer as 180 newtons. 180 newtons. Now for counterclockwise rotation, we have actuating force F is given as Ft into V by A times e to the power of mu theta by e to the power of mu theta minus 1. This is equation 13.19d. So therefore, actuating force for counterclockwise rotation will become, just I should add e to the power of mu theta in the numerator. E to the power of mu is 0.3, theta should be in radians, that is 225 into pi by 180. So if I substitute and solve, I will get the answer as 383.27 newtons. So therefore, the maximum actuating force. So therefore, F max is 383.27 newtons. Now using F max, I can design for lever. So now I can design for lever. Now if I move for design of lever, we have the bending moment as force into perpendicular distance, that is F max into A, which is turning out to be 383.27 into 1000, which is 383,271.5 Newton millimeters. Now we have the expression for design for lever as mb by I is equal to sigma b by c, which is equal to sigma b by c, where I is equal to bh cube by 12 for rectangular cross section and h is equal to c is equal to h by 2 for rectangular cross section. It is also specified the relationship between height and width as depth is to be thrice as width. So depth h should be equal to thrice as width. So therefore, if I substitute all the values, we have mb is known, which is 383,271.5 divided by I is bhp by 12 b into 3b whole cube, bh cube by 12. This must be equal to sigma b. Sigma b is sigma allowable, given for us 80 megapascals. C is h by 2, h is 3b. If I substitute and solve, I get the width as mb into 12 divided by 3 cube into 80. This should be multiplied by 3 by 2. So this is equal to b cube. So hence cube root of this gives us the answer. So b is turning out to be 14.73 mm. Hence this one adopt width as 15 millimeters. X is equal to 3 times width. So adopt h as 45 mm. So this is solution for problem number 4, which has asked many times in video examination. Let me pause this video for a while so that people can copy it down. Later we solve problem number 5. Now, moving ahead, the problem number 5 states that a single band brake, as shown in figure 5, is to absorb 15 kilowatts of power at 200 rpm. Determine maximum effort required to stop the rotation of drum. Width of 2.5 mm thick steel band if the maximum tensile stress is 56 megapascals. Design the lever, take coefficient of friction as 0.25. Let us solve this problem. If it is to the data given for problem number 5, we have a simple band break to be absorbed a power of 15 kilowatts at a rated speed of 200 rpm, and we have the angle theta, which is 270 degrees. We know the diameter 600 mm, and he has given the coefficient of friction 0.25, and he has given the thickness, let us take it as thickness T of steel band, which is 2.5 mm. If the maximum tensile stress for maximum tensile stress should not exceed 56 megapascal for band. So I should design band. In the same time, I should design lever. Now, as usual, whenever we encounter problems on band breaks, we should refer page number 270 of our design data handbook written by K. Mahadevan and K. Balaveri Reddy. We are referring 4th edition. So therefore, moving for solution, comparing the given sketch, comparing figure 5 with page number 270 of design data handbook, we have it is matching with figure E. So therefore it is matching with figure E. So therefore from figure E of page number 270, we have actuating force for clockwise rotation is given by Ft into B by A times 1 by e to the power of mu theta minus 1. This is equation number 13.19c. And for counterclockwise rotation, it is Ft into B by A 1 by e to the power of mu theta by e to the power of mu theta minus 1. This is equation 13.19b, page number 270. Now I can determine the value of Ft by using torque. So therefore we know that torque T is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into P by N. Because power is known, RPM is known, hence torque will become 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into P by N. Power is 15 kilowatts, N is 200, hence I will get the torque as 716250 Newton millimeters. We also know that torque is equal to tangential force into radius. So therefore tangential force will become this answer divided by radius. Diameter is 600, so therefore radius is 300. Hence the tangential force will be 2387.5 newtons. So substituting all the values which we know to these two equations, I will get force required to stop the brake drum in clockwise rotation and force required to stop the brake drum in counterclockwise rotation as from equation 13.19c. Ft is 2387.5 into B. B is 125 divided by A. A is 750 multiplied by 1 divided by e to the power of mu theta. Theta should be in radians. Mu is 0.25 into theta is 270 into pi by 180 minus 1. If I solve, I'll get the effort as 177 newtons for clockwise. For counterclockwise, just I should add e to the power of mu theta in the numerator. That is e to the power of 0.25 into 270 into pi by 180. So effort for counterclockwise rotation is 575 newtons. So therefore the maximum force is 575 newtons. So hence solve for maximum force, that is 575 newtons. So that is the answer for case 1. The maximum effort required to stop the rotation of drum is 575 newtons. Next, move for design of band. If I move for design of band, first I should calculate the tensions of band, that is T1 and T2. Here we are using it as F1 and F2. So recalling our basics, we know that tensions of band, assuming it as a flat bell drive, always, unless otherwise specified, we know that tension F1 by F2 is equal to e to the power of mu theta, and so hence if I solve, I get e to the power of mu theta as e to the power of 0.25 into theta is 270 into pi by 180 radians. E to the power of mu theta is 3.248. Hence I get one equation as F1 minus 3.248 F2 is equal to 0. Also we know that from design of belts, then torque is equal to tension in tight side minus tension in slack side times the radius. So therefore F1 minus F2 will become T by R. Torque is 716250, radius is 300, which is turning out to be 2387.5. Take it as equation 2. So therefore solving equation 1 and 2, assuming the band is flat bell drive, we'll get the tight side tension F1 and slack side tension F2 as, go for equations, two equations with two unknowns. A1 is 1, B1 is minus 3.248, C1 is 0, A2 is 1, B2 is minus 1, C2 is 2387.5. So I'll get the tensions as tight side tension is 3450 newtons and tension slack side is 1062 newtons. So we got the tensions in tight side and tensions in slack side. So maximum tension is 3450 newtons. These formulas we already learnt in design of bell drives. Now using which I can find the width. So we know that formula for width is given by equation 13.18. Width is equal to T1 by h times sigma d, referring to equation 13.18 O of page 269. So therefore width will be, so thickness is taken as h here for band. So T1 is known, which is nothing but F1 for us. F1 is 3450 divided by thickness of band is 2.5. Allowable stress is 56 MPa for band. Hence the width is 24.64. So you can adopt 25 mm. So this is the solution for design of band. Now if I move for design of lever. As usual, how we have done for problem number 1, repeat the same procedure. Since the material of lever is not specified, always assume material as C40 steel. Factor of safety for belt drives will be 3. So assume these two conditions whenever material and factor of safety is missing for design of lever, whenever you design band brakes. Now for C40 steel, from page number 464, referring to table 1.8 of appendix 1, we have sigma yield is 324 megapascals, hence sigma allowable will be 324 by 3, which is 108 MPa. Now we know that sigma B by C is equal to MB by I is the formula, where MB is maximum force required into perpendicular distance from the pin. So therefore sigma B is known 108, C is h by 2, this is equal to bending moment is F max. F max is 575 into length is 750 divided by I is bh cube by 12. It is bh cube by 12. You have to differentiate. I will call it as h1, b1 and h1. Now since the relation is not given, you assume always for design of band brakes depth is 3 times the width if not given. Kindly make a note. You should provide, since he is missing, let us make use of this assumption. So whenever they design simple band brakes, the lever depth will be always 3 times its width. So using this assumption, if I solve, I will get the answer for B1 and H1 as, we have 575 as F max into perpendicular distance is 750 into 12 divided by 108 into 3 cube multiplied by 3 by 2. So cube root of this will be, I will get the answer as B1 is turning out to be 13.86. So hence I can adopt B1 as 14 mm. Therefore H1 is 3 times 14. It is 14 into 3, which is 42 mm. Always in case of design of band for simple band brakes, we will attach this band with the help of permanent joint, that is with the help of rivets. So therefore always we assume that there are 4 rivets arranged in 2 rows with 8 mm rivet diameter. For that we will always design the band. Hence if I want to check the band design, we can have checking for band design. Assume 4 rivets of 8 mm diameter arranged in 2 rows. So therefore we will get the actual width of band as, width what I obtained is 25 mm into plus, we have 2 rows of, since the rivet is 8 mm diameter, the rivet hole should be 1 mm larger than the rivet. These two people already learnt in design of rivets in our course on design of machine elements 1. So therefore the actual width will be 25 plus 2 into 9, which is 43 mm. Now in order to check our assumption is correct or wrong, we know that maximum shear stress is given by, the formula for rivets is the force F1 divided by number of rivets times the area, that is pi d square by 4. We have F1 is 3450 divided by number of rivets is 4 times pi times diameter of the rivet is 8. If I solve, I get the answer as 3450 divided by 4 into pi into d square multiplied by 4, which is turning out to be 17.16 megapascals. 17.16 megapascals. And we know that crushing strength is given by maximum force on band by IBH. This you have already learned in our course on design of rivets in design of mesh elements 1. Recalling that, I am checking for the design of band. So maximum force is 3450 divided by number of rivets, what we have assumed is 4, into diameter is 8 mm diameter rivet. Thickness is given for us 2.5 mm, so therefore crushing stress is 43 megapascals. Whereas the allowable stress on band is 56 megapascals. Both maximum shear stress and crushing stress are within the limit, hence we can assume 4 rivets of 8 mm diameter arranged in 2 rows. So finally, you can design the band by assuming it with 4 rivets of 8 mm diameter arranged in 2 rows and check for maximum shear stress and crushing stress, recalling the basics of our design from design of rivets. So if you refer the data handbook, in the chapter of design of rivets, you have these formulas for maximum shear stress and crushing stress. Make use of that, determine the stresses, check whether the stress is below the allowable stress what you have specified. If not, you decrease the number of rivets or retain the number of rivets, decrease the diameter of rivet. Hence, the design is safe. Safe for band. If you want, you can continue here itself. You can continue here itself. After checking for band design, you can go for design of lever. Design of lever. So this is the procedure to be followed for design of lever, which we have clearly learned in our problem 4 itself. Let me pause this video for a while so that you people can copy it down. Later we will solve the final problem of today's lecture, that is problem number 6. Now moving ahead to solve the final problem of today's lecture, that is problem number 6, states that a band brake as shown in the figure 6 uses a V belt. The pitch diameter of V groove pulley is 400 mm. The groove angle is 45 degrees and the coefficient of friction is 0.3. Determine the power rating. Let us solve this problem. If we move for problem number 6, the data specified, we have a V belt band over the drum. He has given the pitch diameter as 400 mm. Groove angle is 2 alpha. This you people already learned in our module 1 itself in design of V belts. And coefficient of friction is 0.3. Is asking us to find the power rating. So if I move for solution, I want to determine the torque. So torque can be calculated for V belts by knowing the value of tensions, that is F1 and F2. So we know that for V belts tensions T1 by T2, here it is F1 by F2 is equal to e to the power of mu theta by sin alpha. So therefore F1 by F2 will be e to the power of mu is 0.3 into theta is 180 degrees. which is clear from the diagram itself, into pi by 180 divided by sin alpha. Sin of semi-groove angle is 45 by 2, which is 22.5. So therefore, if I solve, I will get f1 by f2 as e to the power of mu is 0.3, theta is 180 into pi by 180 radians divided by sin alpha for V belts 22.5, which is turning out to be 11.74. Let us take this as equation 1. One more equation is that torque is equal to T1 minus T2 into R, but here torque itself is unknown for us. Hence, for equilibrium, the moment about the hinge should be equal to 0. This we already know. So therefore, for equilibrium, summation of moment about O should be equal to 0. So therefore, if I take moment about O and equal it to 0, we have F2 into distance is 400 minus activating force is 100 newtons into distance is 750 should be equal to 0. So therefore, F2 will be 100 into 750 divided by 400, that is 187.5 newtons. So substitute in equation 1, we get from equation 1 F1 will be this answer into 11.74, which is 2201 newtons. So therefore, I can find the torque by using torque equation. Torque is equal to T1 minus T2. Here it is F1 minus F2 into radius. Hence the torque will be 2201 minus 187.5 into radius. Radius for this problem will be, diameter is 400, radius is 200. Hence the torque will be 2201 minus 187.5 into 200, which is turning out to be 402700 Newton millimeters. So therefore, finally we have power rating for this problem as we know that torque is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into T by N. Hence the power rating for this problem is, answer is equal to 9.55 into 10 to the power of 6 into alpha x by N is 400. So if I solve, I get the power rating for this problem as 16.87 kilowatts. So the solution for this problem is 16.87 kilowatts. One very important note is that always we'll assume that the band is made of flat belt, right? If he gives V belt, then we should use the only change, that is T1 by T2 is equal to e power mu theta by sin alpha. Else it is e power mu theta itself. And also for problems, instead of representing the tensions as T1 and T2, here we are representing it as F1 and F2. Don't get confused. This is because of the reason in our data handbook he has used the tensions as F1 and F2 itself. So this completes our discussion on design of simple band brakes. In our next lecture, I take up design of differential band brakes. That's all from this lecture. Thank you.